episode of Lives Getting Lives, the podcast where we talk about life beyond being life. My name's Allie, and this is my amazing co-host, Donna. Donna, how was your week?
It was good, Allie. Thank you. Well, I was sick this week. I had strep. And so my week was a little slow in the beginning because all I could do was sleep and sleep. So how was your week?
My week was long, very long. My son Killian ended up getting sick with strep also. I ended up with strep. Gordon and my daughter Audrina also ended up with strep.
Whole house.
Whole house, all of us. Killian, who's my 6-year-old son, by the way, he actually ended up with scarlet fever on top of that. So, did it. He woke up with 102 fever and a full body rash. It was horrific.
Poor baby. It must have been awful.
It had to have been. He was very itchy, and I think the sore throat bothered him more than this itchiness.
Sore throat was rough.
It was much worse than I recall it being, and I don't even have tonsils. I thought it would have been like a bit better for me.
I would have thought you might wouldn't get it.
I would have hoped, but surprise!
You can still get it.
Strep, the gift that doesn't stop giving.
So what else has been going on this week for you?
I have been doing a lot of networking. We've got a couple of interviews on the books for the coming weeks.
We do, which is so exciting.
It is, and we have some really interesting guests too.
I'm so excited. It happens so quickly too, which is like, it makes it real, right?
It really does. It really does. And we have a lot of interest too, which really shows me that there is a need for this sort of podcast.
Yes.
And I really think that we found a niche in this community that, hadn't been filled yet. Yeah. There's so many wives out there just like us. I, myself, had spent so much time inside these four walls that honestly, I was scared and anxious of what lay beyond. And now that I'm outside in the real world, reintegrating into society from my own prison that I built myself, my home, coming out of that safe place that I've built and trying to get back out in the world and making friends as an adult is a nightmare.
It was so much easier as a kid. I remember, my first day of second grade, I got on the bus to go home, and another little girl sat in the seat beside me, and she goes, "We're friends now." And I was like, cool. Forever.
And it was that
so
easy.
And talked every day, hung out every day.
It's a shame that it's not that easy anymore. There's so much that goes into it because, there's the mom friends you only hang out with because y'all have the same age kids.
Yes.
There's mom friends from church or, mom friends who don't even really like you. They just keep you around for entertainment purposes or something. I don't know, but there's such a variety of people out there, and it's so hard to find someone you really click with. And that's one reason I am so thankful that, that Christian brought us together, and that we have really built this bond over time. And it's happened pretty quickly,
6 months or so?
I think we're going on 7. Don't sell us short.
Maybe 7, yeah.
Yeah, and you've really become one of my best friends, and I am so thankful.
It's been crazy realizing how quick the connection was. It was like the kid thing you did, finding a friend. It was that easy for us. Well, people had put us together, but once we met,
it was downhill from there. I think I came over a few days after that, and we kept chilling on our own accord, and we just haven't stopped. It's been almost
it's been so much fun.
almost probably, it started out a monthly thing, and we are now on a weekly basis.
Talk to each other a couple times a week.
Maybe I could convince you to move closer and it could be like a daily basis.
I don't know about that, but
I mean, the 45-minute distance is just killing me.
it is a distance. I'll give you that.
I think that's another complication to me making mom friends is I live in the middle of nowhere. But what's your excuse, Donna? Because you live in the middle of a large city.
Well, a small city. That's not. It is Louisiana. The big city is New Orleans.
Okay.
What's right? It's a smaller city, but I do live in the middle of it. But there's people all around, and I still mom.
You do.
I do a lot. I do have friends.
I took a walk today. Is that the furthest you've been outside your home since coming here?
No, I have to go to the grocery store like every day.
But beyond that, like, what do we do other than our podcast now? What have we been doing?
Well, I have been trying to walk in the morning, take a little walk, do a little meditative walk.
Honestly, that's probably pretty invigorating to take a walk bright and early.
It is. It helps you wake up. You feel energized. Just a little energized.
Rejuvenation.
Very helpful to get your day started early. And, you know, I've been watching Andrew Huberman, who's a neuroscientist, if I'm correct. And he's the one that talked about that getting the light early is good for your mental well-being and giving that kickstart that you need to get going. Helps wake you up.
Really, I was unaware that there was a need to get the light at a certain time of day. I knew that the amount of sunlight could affect your mood and that a lack thereof can lead to depression or worsening depression.
Which we've had.
Absolutely. But I wish it was as simple as just going outside for me too.
Yeah. And outside here, it's still in the middle of nowhere.
It is, and
But the
it's
walks are very peaceful.
they are. We have nice views. I live on a lake in the middle of nowhere. I live in a small subdivision, but all around our subdivisions are a lot of farmlands between here and your city, which is West Monroe. And yeah, we're still basically in the middle of nowhere, but I feel like
It's kind of free.
it is free, but also I feel like it's kind of becoming somewhere now because we are going to put it on the map.
What have you been doing for yourself?
For myself, I have been trying to journal, and all of my journaling has kind of turned into me just jotting down thoughts and ideas for our podcast, but
And that's journaling.
yeah, it's
Writing down
journaling.
your thoughts. And it's helpful.
It is helpful, and it's really helped me to find a way to channel these creative urges that I'm starting to deal with now, because this is the first time that I feel like I've really gotten my creative juices flowing for something, and man, I am so excited to share because we have so many great exciting things coming up.
Dude, and one of those being your husband.
Oh, yes. One of them will be my husband. My husband, Gordon, he is an avid yo-yoer. He loves to throw his yos.
Passionate.
I'm so glad that he has something that he is so passionate about. It really warms my heart because he practices so much, and I've seen his hard work pay off.
He's got some good videos.
He does. He has some good videos. He likes to post on TikTok at Newman Throws. He has some great yo-yo content if that's a hobby that interests any of you. We plan to actually have my husband teach us a trick or two, just something basic, and maybe he'll run you through some of the more advanced tricks that he knows so that you can see how cool yo-yoing really can be. But speaking of excitement, we also have something exciting planned for later in the episode, so be sure to stick around.
You might want to see what happens. It's going to be great.
So, what have you been working on this week? Have you learned anything new or tried any new hobbies out?
I actually have, thanks to you, you've been teaching me how to do my makeup. Because sadly enough, even though I'm 35, the way I was doing makeup was so atrocious. It was not correct. If y'all would have seen it, it was so bad.
There's no correct way to do makeup. It's something...
Well, this is more, professional. So that's what I would say.
I feel like makeup is very subjective, and it's got to change to fit your palette, which is, whatever face you're going to be working on, you want it to fit them, their face shape, their style, maybe what they're wearing, their eye color. There's so many different aspects that goes into making a good full face
That's
look.
why you're teaching me, because I don't know this.
Well,
And it's so much fun, actually. Like, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed learning how to put it, like, the foundation on properly.
You poor soul. She did not know that you're supposed to wet a beauty blender.
I did.
But
makeup.
really.
It's getting better. I did part of this. Barely. But that's how you learn.
Yeah, that's how you We
You
are.
have great teaching skills. You're really good with the makeup, and you're good at teaching and explaining why you do something. So maybe we should do one of those on here too.
Yeah, I'd definitely be up for that because that is a hobby, and I recognize it as a hobby because it's something that used to bring me so much joy. So if I could share a little of that with someone else, I'd really love to. One of my main goals of the podcast is to actually reach out into the community and find other women that we could help. And, maybe our help's going to come in the form of inspiration or entertainment or any number of things, but maybe we could bring you
Hopefully some self-discovery. We're
self-discovery.
discovering ourselves. Hopefully we help somebody else discover who they are, the things they like.
Even if it's just a little 30-minute distractor, we'd like to be here for you ladies and be able to help our community and have you guys help us because we can't make this possible without you all. So we really appreciate your support.
So, Allie, what interest have you recently discovered? Have you looked into see what you like?
I actually recently discovered digital art. And I wasn't really aware of how big of a thing that was and how much you could really do with it until one of our friends, who is actually a fabulous social media manager, shout out to Ariel and thank you in advance for all of your help.
Oh, thank you so much.
She has done some beautiful work for us.
Some very
And
cute things that we love.
the digital artwork is amazing, and I was so shocked to see what you could really make with that. And I think that's something that I'd be interested in exploring more as a hobby.
And it would be useful with our podcast.
It would. So hopefully,
It's a skill as well. A skill that can be
maybe we could find someone willing to show us that.
That would be fun. Yes, I like that.
There are so many things that are hobbies that I would have never considered a hobby.
Right.
Part of preparing for the podcast, we did a lot of research. We watched podcasts, we listened to podcasts, we searched the web, and we found that this is a niche in the community that was needed, was, giving women something to do outside of the household, outside of being a wife and a mother, to give them something for themselves to look forward to. And there's so many things that are hobbies that I never realized that one would consider a hobby, such as thrifting clothes. That's some people's hobbies. And I think it would be so fun to set a budget and eventually go and each pick an outfit
Yes,
for
for
one
each
another.
other. I was gonna say that would be so much fun. I know so I'm definitely a thrifter. I love thrifting. So much fun. But mostly because I always have a budget. So it's helpful as well. That sounds so much fun. I pick your outfit, you pick mine. We'll have to search in the little girls for mine. But we will find something.
We also have some other very interesting episodes in the works. And we have a few wives that we've pushed on the back burner for a couple of weeks until we catch up on some of our current interviews we have on the books. But we are hoping to, I think we have at least 4 or 5 interviews
So
in the works. And it is because there's so many people who have reached out and wanted to be a part of this and come along on this
And that's so
journey
great.
of self-discovery, or at minimum help us on our journey. And
That's so exciting. It feels great to have other people join it.
it is, it's so beautiful.
And
And
see them being so excited because they're excited to do it. And it's
they
like,
are, and I appreciate all of the support. And
we have gotten a lot of support.
we have.
Friends, family, people we don't know too. That's great. It's so good.
I hope that we continue to grow and gain support, and that we can be supportive to our community.
Hopefully we can help some other people out there.
I hope so.
Do you have any goals upcoming set for yourself? Because that's something I want to work on. I've never been good at setting goals.
I think one of my only goals would be to continue to show up and release content in a timely manner and put our best foot forward and try to get all that we can out of this experience, and continue to work towards making something out of this, you know. I really don't even care if it ever gets monetized. I would just like to gain something out of this experience and, you know, maybe really find my hobby and what I enjoy, and something that gives me the same passion that Gordon has about yo-yo.
No, he does have like a light in his eyes when he's doing it. Because he gets so excited. He enjoys it. And I'm one thing I've been doing is looking through like my Instagram, my YouTube shorts and everything, seeing what's in my reel. So what do I normally, what catches my eye? So what am I interested in? So that's how I've been finding my interest. And it turns out comedy is a big one. So, I mean, love to laugh. And we all love to laugh. We need it. At least for me personally. I need a good laugh to keep going. Because sometimes, some days don't feel like
Absolutely, it's a good release.
it is. So comedy is a big one for me, and dance videos are so good. And I do love watching people. I'm not a good dancer. I know there's people out there that can attest to that. Let's not show any videos. But it is so much fun to watch, especially when someone's really good at it. It's just so enjoyable. So there's a lot of dance videos onto it, and sports. Lots of football. Lots of people doing dangerous things.
My feed is mostly made up of murder mysteries, true crime type things, you know.
Snapped.
Oh, yes.
One needs to be careful.
I also have a lot of women of color doing wig installs, and oddly enough, it's so interesting to watch because they have so much skill. Well, I'm not going to say they as in like everyone who's ever produced a video is a woman.
But the ones that are on your
Yeah, I've seen some great content out there though.
it's so soothing to watch.
It is. It is almost like ASMR to sit there and take it in, and some of the things that they're able to do and make it look so natural. It makes me want to wig, girl. Because, I mean, dealing with this lion's mane is a lot sometimes.
It is. I don't have as thick a mane as yours, but it sure is long. And mine look real flat, just falls short. So hopefully today, in our other segment, that will change.
We plan to go out with a bang, so when we come back, you will get to see me give our lovely co-host Donna the Brad Mondo butterfly cut. Because one hobby that we were interested in is hair cutting and styling, so that's something that we wanted to try our hand at today. I really just can't believe this happened.
Me neither. I cannot believe we lost the second half of our footage.
Yeah, so this isn't how we hoped to come back to this segment. During editing, we had some technical difficulties, and unfortunately, we lost the segment of footage showing Donna's drastic changes. So we did end up doing the butterfly cut. We actually cut off a good 5 inches or maybe a little more.
It feels so much better, and it looks really good. I like it.
It does. It turned out great, honestly. So if you check out our YouTube video, you can see a before and after picture inserted. So that you know where we started and where we finished. And
So today, since we lost that footage, we are going to try to DIY lighten my hair.
what are we going to use?
We're going to use honey and baking soda and water.
Okay, and make like a paste.
And then we're going to put it in my hair, and we're going to leave it there for 15 to 20 minutes. And then we rinse it out, and it should be lighter. Or you could leave it in until you can see the lightness you want. So,
Oh, wow.
it might not take as long. It may take a little longer.
I guess we'll have to play it by ear and see how it goes. Hopefully it turns out well, though.
Hopefully, but it's DIY, and I found it on Pinterest, so it also could go bad. But hey, you deserve to see something. So this is what we could figure out.
Yeah, we definitely had to put in some thought on how to salvage this because I spent hours editing and then deleted the best part. So
I know, it's so sad.
it really was. I felt like I was going to have a heart attack. So stick around and we will be right back to show you and tell you how we are going to do this DIY. So stick around and we will come back and show and tell you how we're going to go about doing this DIY lightening on Donna's hair. Welcome back. We are in my laboratory, aka my kitchen, and we are ready to make a DIY lightening paste.
Yay.
What goes in it, Donna?
Alright, so we're going to start with a half cup baking soda. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of honey, but I'm using a teaspoon, so 6 teaspoons if you don't have a tablespoon handy. I think this is 6, but I might have miscounted. It might be 5, so I might add one more.
For science.
Yeah.
Then we're going to combine the baking soda and the honey.
Get that thick boy going. Okay, now we'll start adding our water a little at a time. Go ahead and start mixing. We'll add a little more so we get the consistency that we want. It said it should be a medium paste, so we don't want it too thick, but we don't want it all pretty either. Some more, it's mixing well.
Sounds like we're making mac and cheese.
That sounds good, actually. How does it come
Alright, this is what I would consider like a medium paste, and we barely put any water in.
I know, so that's why a whole...
So when we come back, we will be doing the DIY lightning paste on Donna's head. So be sure to stick around. And we are back. So soupy, but we're just gonna go in with it.
We're gonna try it. Let's go.
It said use a brush, but I'm not real sure.
Oh, I should have brought
So we're just gonna like paste it in there.
one. That is wet and cold. Oh, I feel it dripping. Oh, yeah. That's gonna be fun. Oh, that's really. That is so cold. It went down my shirt.
Oh no. Oh.
Your floor's gonna be wet. Oh, that's so cold going down that here. Oh.
We wanna make sure it's all covered so you're not like partially lightened. What if it does work? And like, work some parts of it.
Uneven, yeah. Well, that's the risk we take, right?
Yeah, don't blame me. You came to my freaking kitchen for
I will.
a hair dye job.
You're right, I will blame you. How dare you, Adam?
I think we have you fully saturated. So we're gonna set a timer for about 10-15 minutes. We're gonna keep an eye on it in the meantime.
Look at it. Make sure it's not
Falling out or anything.
Oh yeah, the falling out. I didn't even think of that. Oh God.
And we'll be back to update you on how it goes. So see you soon. And we're back again. And unfortunately, nothing's different.
No. All it did was make it the same. And like kind of rough. Like it's coarse filling now and not soft.
Honestly, I feel like this one single part looks like it might be like slightly lighter, but not enough to compensate for how your hair feels.
No,
It feels like a mix between sticky and crunchy.
yeah, it's like almost like we fried my hair.
Almost.
That's kind of what it feels like.
I
A little
definitely
softer.
wouldn't recommend this.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it doesn't smell bad. I feel like
No.
that's the only bonus it has going.
It doesn't really smell good either.
The texture's horrible.
It's super horrible. Would not recommend this one. Yeah, don't do it. It's not good. It doesn't work. And it makes your hair feel awful.
Hey, but we showed up
We
and we
tried.
tried. So,
Maybe I will try a couple of the different ones at home and put up some short, quick little videos or pictures just to see how it turns out. Because I really want it to be a little different. In fact, it just didn't work for me.
I think it'd be cool.
So I'll try again. We'll see.
I really like your determination.
Gotta give it a shot.
So,
Alright, guys.
thank you for joining us for another episode, and we will see you again next week.
Next
Bye,
Wednesday.
guys.